Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful and we're beautiful and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought things couldn't get worse for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I've said this multiple times, I don't see how it gets worse. Well, the entire game has leaked a month early. That's correct. The official Assassin's Creed Shadows account came out with this statement. Hello, everyone. We are aware some players have accessed Assassin's Creed Shadows ahead of its official release. The development team is still working on patches to prepare the experience for launch, and any footage shared online does not represent the final quality of the game. Oh my God, they know. They know how bad this game looks. They know how bad this game plays. They were hoping to bamboozle you and to basically get you in on the hype of Assassin's Creed and maybe see what it's about. They wanted to bring you in, get your money, and then say, sorry, no refunds. And this screwed up their entire plan. Imagine releasing a statement about leaks, and the first thing that you say is, well, we're still working on it. Yeah, we know this is the official disc for the game. We know that, this is the game itself. But this isn't the final product. So wait a minute. At a certain point, you felt that this game was complete enough to put on discs for sale. But now, don't even look at that. That's garbage. That's trash. Don't even look at that version of the game. We're still working on it. It's less than a month out. We're still working on. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. You can see what this is. You can see the fact that they wanted to rush out an inferior product in every way, and now they're being exposed for it, and they're upset. Oh no, we're still working on it. We're still polishing the game. A month out? You mean to tell me that you can't figure out how to put a complete and finished game on a disc? You mean they could do it for cartridges back in the day? They could do it for PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. But for some reason, you can't expect a game company to put a complete and finished game on a disc. Ridiculous. These are unfortunate and can diminish the excitement for players. This is the most excitement you've had for your game. Like, I'm not even entirely convinced that you didn't leak it yourself to generate some kind of buzz. We kindly ask you not to spoil the experience for others. Thank you to our community for already taking steps to protect everyone from spoilers. Stay in the shadows, avoid the spoilers, and keep an eye on our channel for more official surprises in the coming weeks. March 20th will be here soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, some of the content that we see from these leaks is the absolutely atrocious AI. The AI, I don't know if this is actually from a leak. I don't know if this is from a demo. But this person says, watch the Archer. Is this journo mode? Or is the AI supposed to do that? What they're referring to is, in this fight, they're fighting soldiers. Look at the guy with the bow. Look at him. He puts his bow away, walks around, doesn't fight back. Like, you're talking about how absolutely atrocious this is. Like, look at this. It is really bad. So apparently the game size is 85 gigabytes. And people are just pointing out the fact, and here we go. Here we got Grums. A couple days ago made this post about how you can apparently loot the Japanese imperial family's tomb. Yeah, Yasuke. Just stealing the royal family's sacred goods. It's really astonishing how much they've messed this game up, how poorly they've done. It's like, in every conceivable way, they've managed to make mistake after mistake after mistake. Oh, what's this? It sounds like... Yeah, so, I mean, people are pointing out things like the fact that the sword sounds like it's made of wood. It's just, I'm looking at this. Yasuke is apparently on fire. I'm looking at this stuff, and it's so obvious that the gaming industry has lost any semblance of caring. There's not an ounce of caring, but there are an army of Karens. There are way too many people at these companies. And amongst those way too many people are way too many people that don't know anything about gaming. They don't care about gaming. They care about personal politics and emotional manipulation and something that they saw on true crime. I read a true crime podcast, or I read this, or it's like everything is about these irrelevant, completely tangential things. And they get lost in the sauce, and then the important attention to detail gets completely overlooked. Like, how on earth did you not know that having a 7-foot black man come in and kill Japanese people in broad daylight and then loot the imperial family tomb would not be received well? How did you not understand that? This game, at every step of the way, has faced obvious incompetence, negligence, and malice due to the fact that apparently nobody there understands that wokeness, diversity, equity, and inclusion, all this other stuff is rejected by the vast majority of the world. And now that a lot of these studios and now that a lot of these companies don't have the U.S. government, the USAID propping it up, you don't have popular sentiment. You don't have money coming in from these foreign, these agencies. So what are you still doing? If I were in Ubisoft's position, do you know what I would do? I would cancel this game. I would pull it back. I'd say, you know what? We have some work to do. We're going to cancel it. I'd have them take the assets and reshape it into a game that's actually worth gamers' time. Where you have one main character, a Japanese fighting age man, who I would say your mission is to make him memorable in all the right ways. Sort of like Altair and Ezio are memorable. I want you to take this Japanese character and I want you to elevate him and I want him to be a badass. And I want it to be very clear that we're making this character in line with what gamers have wanted through the ages, since the 80s when it comes to a hero. I would make it very clear this is going to be a character that is designed to give them what they want. But here's the problem. A lot of these studios view giving gamers what they want as a loss. They view it as a loss. They view it as some sort of, oh, I'm not ever going to surrender. I'm not ever going to surrender to gamers. That's how they view it. And they're mentally ill, repugnant, Karen, gaming press cohorts. They write these ridiculous, salacious articles. They have this anti-gamer mindset. They think that they're above everyone when they don't realize they're so far beneath everyone that they're looking down on the world and going, well, I don't see anyone, so we must be at the apex. It's like, no, you couldn't be further down. You are in the bowels of hell. There is no circle of hell lower than that reserved for these freaks. And yet every time something happens and gamers celebrate, we're chastised, we're ridiculed, we're told, you can't have that opinion, you're cruel. Yet that freak, Mark Dara, you remember that video? That freak is somebody that has constantly attacked gamers, constantly tried to vilify them, constantly gone out of his way to ignore the atrocious and cruel behavior of his coworkers, of his peers, quote unquote. Ignore their behavior, ignore their malfeasance, ignore the fact that you had somebody who was working at a position in a major prominent game development studio, and they said that you should end your local MAGA. They were advocating for outright ending the life of people that they disagreed with politically because they support Donald Trump. And Mark Dara had no words for it. Not one word. Because he's a hypocrite, he's a freak, he's a loser, and he's a degenerate, and so are all of these people that are working at these studios. And then they wonder why. Why do we celebrate when they lose their job? Why do you celebrate when you get laid off? Because you're shit. You're an insufferable, narcissistic, delusional, disgusting freak. And I look at this with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and you've managed to mess this up in every conceivable way. And then you just pretend like, leaks are unfortunate, can diminish the excitement for players. What excitement? There is no excitement. I'm tired of corporate speak. I'm tired of the double language. I'm just tired of the duplicity from these companies. Your game doesn't have excitement. You know it. And this statement up front is in itself a lie. The first paragraph is a lie. You know the game looks and plays like garbage. You know. That's why you're saying this. Now, you may have made some corrections. I don't doubt that there's going to be a day one patch that's going to make things slightly better. Why did you think that the game was good enough to put on a disc in the first place to ship to people if you had made those updates? My point here is that gaming needs to change, fundamentally. You have people that are giving bad advice, and they've been giving bad advice for a long time. Whether it be through monetization, whether it be through aesthetics. So you have to have body type A and B, body type 1, body type 2. You've had freaks that have been consulting and giving advice that has nearly brought the Western gaming industry to ruin. And I say Western because while Ubisoft may be hurting, and EA may be hurting, and Bethesda and Blizzard and BioWare may be hurting, and all these other Western studios may be hurting, guess what? China is doing phenomenal. Korea is doing phenomenal. Japan is doing phenomenal. They're doing great. Japan can make a game about Japan that's beloved not only by the Japanese, but by everyone else in the world. The West, they can't do that. They can't make a game about Japan that the Japanese love and the rest of the world loves. When they make a game about Japan, everyone hates it. Because the thinking of the Western mind in a left-wing perspective, this left-wing cult, it is fundamentally flawed in every way, and most normal people can see it instantly. When it's put on display, when it's not protected by all the buzzwords and the bullshit and the echo chambers, when it's put on full display, people can see it and they immediately don't like it. And that's exactly what happened to Assassin's Creed Shadows. It had the name, it had the company behind it, it had the finances. This game had every opportunity to be successful. And yet, I would put money on the fact that it's not going to be. Now, is it going to be an avowed level of failure? I don't think so. But we don't judge all games by how bad Avowed is. But I do think this game is not going to sell a fraction of what it otherwise would or otherwise could if it were in the hands of somebody actually competent that didn't have a political message and some sort of avarice towards gamers, and apparently towards the Japanese. The person, if I were in charge of this, the person that came to me and said, we need to put a black samurai into this game, I would fire them on the spot. I'd say that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Because it is. You need one main character, a badass Japanese fighting aged man. You need to make him a beast. You need to make him awesome. Make him cool. Make it so that people want to play this character. Yasuke is a pathetic, lumbering weirdo. He looks weird. He's like Lurch. Nobody wants to play as him. Nobody wants to play as him. He's a jester. He's a fool. His leap of faith, in Assassin's Creed, you jump off the high place and land into the bale of hay or land into the cart. His leap of faith is he basically goes oof and then rolls out of the hay, like he's some dim-witted buffoon. Nobody wants to play as Yasuke. And no one wants to play as the weaker female, 4'2" ninja lady. They want to play as they want to play as Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. Take Zoro and put him into Assassin's Creed Shadows. They want to play as a character that lets the game be fun, but also lets them feel like they're in control, lets them feel like they're powerful. So, ladies and gentlemen, we see it in real time. This game has done everything it can to ruin itself. The people behind the scenes have never taken even one moment to adapt and learn. They've doubled down. They've never admitted their mistakes. They use buzzwords and bullshit. They don't have what it takes to make a game in 2025. And we need to realize that a lot of these companies that once used to make incredible games, for whatever reason, they can't do it anymore. They're over the hill. And we need to recognize that. Because this is inexcusable. Oh, I'm not saying that a game can't be leaked or that they should be held responsible. But the game itself, the state that the game is in, they absolutely could have controlled that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to end things there. Who knows? We got less than a month. Who knows what else is going to happen? I said this is the worst that it can get. Who knows what else is going to happen? I could end record on this video, and there could be a new thing that pops up that's found in the dialogue, that's found in, who knows? They have done such a piss poor job that I don't know how much deeper this rabbit hole can go. But it's pretty deep. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for supporting the channel. And I'll see you next time.